Good evening, this is Zaid Al-Din with the latest news. Jordan condemns the decision by the Israeli Knesset to classify UNRWA as a terrorist organization. The Minister of Government Communication says Jordan is continuing efforts to halt Israel's war on Gaza. At least 84 Palestinians have been killed and 329 others injured in the latest Israeli strikes in the Gaza Strip. Those were the headlines, and now for more details. His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al Hussein, the Regent, visited Al Raya Media Group, affiliated with the Jordan Armed Forces Arab Army. The Regent stressed the important role of professional media in conveying facts accurately and objectively. His Highness voiced pride in the level the group has reached and in efforts of its employees. He also called for keeping pace with developments in the media field and training new graduates on media skills. The Ministry of Government Communication held a meeting for the Government Communication Forum titled Entrepreneurship and Digital Transformation in Jordan. The meeting included the participation of Minister of Government Communication Mohanad Mbaydeen and Minister of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship Ahmed Hanande. Mbaydeen said Jordan is continuing efforts under the leadership of His Majesty King Abdullah to halt Israel's offensive in the Gaza Strip and deliver humanitarian and relief aid to the Palestinians. On the Jarash festival, which kicks off tomorrow, he said the festival is part of the Jordanian cultural narrative. Hanande, for his part, says his ministry aims to digitize 60% of government services before the end of the year. Jordan condemned a decision by the Israeli Knesset to classify UNRWA as a terrorist organization, describing the move as an attempt to eliminate and politically assassinate the UN agency. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the Israeli move targeted UNRWA's symbolism, which affirms the right of return of Palestinian refugees and receiving compensation according to international law. Ministry spokesperson Sufyan Al-Quda stressed that the ongoing Israeli allegations and actions targeting UNRWA represent a blatant violation of the international law and Israel's obligations as the occupying power. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs welcomed a decision by UNESCO's World Heritage Committee to keep Old Jerusalem on the list of endangered sites. Ministry spokesperson Sufyan Al-Quda said that all Israeli measures that aim to change the identity and legal status of the Old City of Jerusalem are null and void. Al-Quda stressed the need to force Israel, as the occupying power, to stop its violations and illegal measures in the Old City. In the Gaza Strip, at least 84 Palestinians have been killed and 329 others injured in Israel's continued bombardment and strikes. The Health Ministry in Gaza said at least 39,090 people have been killed and almost 90,150 injured since the start of Israel's offensive on October the 7th of last year. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization said there was a high risk of the polio virus spreading across the Gaza Strip and beyond its borders due to the dire health situation in the Strip. Team leader for health emergencies at WHO in Gaza and the West Bank said circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2 had been isolated from environmental samples from sewage in Gaza. He said WHO and UNICEF workers were scheduled to arrive in Gaza on Thursday as part of risk assessment related to the discovery of the virus. Palestinian factions, including rivals Hamas and Fatah, agreed to end their divisions and form an interim national unity government during negotiations in China that ended today. The Beijing declaration was signed at the closing ceremony of a reconciliation dialogue among 14 Palestinian factions held in China's capital for 3 days. The meeting was held amid attempts by international mediators to reach a ceasefire deal for Gaza and confusion over who will run the enclave after the war ends. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces killed 7 Palestinians in raids in the cities of Tulkarem and Hebron. 2 commanders from Hamas and Fatah movement and 1 woman were killed during fighting between Palestinians and Israeli soldiers in the streets of Tulkarem. The identities of 2 other fatalities in Tulkarem were not immediately clear. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 2 other Palestinians were killed in a separate raid near the city of Hebron. At least 579 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli soldiers or settlers in the territory since the conflict began in October. That's it for tonight. Thank you and goodbye.